You hungry, Pop? I'm happy. No. Welcome, guys. This is Allgood Reviews, Season 4. And it is the 6th of December 2016. And I don't have no idea what video this is or what episode this is in the season, so don't friggin' ask me because I have no clue. So today we're going to be talking about the movie. And this is one that I teased a little while back, but I haven't actually got a chance to review it yet. I grabbed the wrong movie. I grabbed Iron Eagle instead of Folks. But we're going to be talking about this movie today, guys. And from director Ted Kotcheff, writer Rob Klein, it's the dark comedy Folks, starring Tom Selleck, Don Amici, Christine Ebersole, and Ann Jackson. Co-starring Michael Murphy. So, what's Folks about? What's this movie about? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it semi-good, semi-bad? No. I mean, is it worth recommending? What's it about? Folks is a little known movie that not that many people I think probably have even heard of. It's one of those ones that I went into. A lot of my friends don't like this movie for some reason or another. It's maybe the humor of it is different than they're used to. It's kind of dark in humor on a lot of it. It's silly. It's goofy. It's dark at the same time in parts of it. Like the humor's kind of not so much like like a serial killer dark movie or like anything like that. But it does come from the makers of Weekend at Bernie's. So if that tells you anything, it's kind of dark in that sense. This is one of the ones that my uncle actually recommended a long time ago to me and my mom and stuff, and said it was pretty funny. So we ended up watching it and renting it a long time ago, and I really like it. I think it's a really funny movie. My friend does. My friends, some of my friends don't care for it. They were like, "It's okay," but this is the insert. This is the original artwork or whatever that. Yep, thumbnail, thumbnail. The original artwork from the movie, and this is like a scene index or chapter index on the back or on the other side of it. This was kind of a hard movie to find on DVD. I had it on VHS for a long time, and it was kind of like an old crappy copy of it. I think it's a pretty funny movie. It's not a great movie though. It's not. It's kind of got a different kind of feel to it. I mean, it's got a different kind of energy to it. It's funny, but it's not like you don't expect to crack up every 5 seconds or anything because it's kind of a comedy drama. Like it's got funny parts, but it's also kind of got a deeper message to it than just the funny scenes or whatever. Um, it's not quite as funny as Weekend at Bernie's. Weekend at Bernie's kind of has a higher energy to it. Folks is funny, but it's kind of funny in a different way. It's not so uh, it's got slapstick in it, and it is pretty slapstick heavy, but it's kind of in a different vein than Weekend at Bernie's it is. And as I said earlier, it's directed and written by the same people. It's written by Robert Klein, who wrote Weekend at Bernie's, and it's directed by Ted Kotcheff, who directed Weekend at Bernie's. And I believe it's also by the same production team. It's produced by Victor Dry, Malcolm J. Harding or Michael R. Harding, music by Michelle Colombier, and it's by Penta Pictures and 20th Century Fox. So before I tell you what my final verdict is or anything, let me tell you a little bit about what Folks is about. And I'm going to read the back of this, and then I'm going to kind of give you my synopsis of it. So it says John Aldridge is about to come face to face with the most terrifying force known to man, his folks. It says Tom Selleck stars as wealthy Chicago broker John Aldridge, a loving husband and father who must rush to Florida when his elderly mother becomes ill. But when his senile father, Don Amici, winner of an Oscar in 1986 for Best Actor in a Supporting Role in Cocoon, burns down the house, John is forced to bring his parents home with him. Now, nothing in his life, including his money grubbing sister, Christine Ebersole, or an FBI sting that has frozen all of his finances and assets, can compare to the daily dangers of caring for his mother and father. Still, things are about to get much, much worse. Could John's final solution be a series of deadly accidents that will take care of his folks for good? Michael Murphy, Private Parts, Wendy Crewson, the Santa Claus, Robert Pastorelli, Murphy Brown, and Ann Jackson co-star in this hilarious black comedy from screenwriter Rob Klein and director Ted Kotcheff, the creators of Weekend at Bernie's. And this doesn't have many special features on it. It's got a widescreen presentation, enhanced for 16 by 9 TVs, 9-inch TVs, theatrical trailer, and the TV spots. The TV spots. um, the TV spots. I was reading something from a channel that I subscribe to. Sorry, that popped up right when I was doing that. She was a lady that has a channel that I sub to was commenting on something I said. Um, so there's not a whole lot of special features. The TV spots are pretty funny. There's like about 5 TV spots or so on there, but they're kind of funny. Um, but okay, what were my thoughts on folks? So basically, like I said, I read the plot synopsis. John Aldridge is doing good in his life at the beginning of the movie. Um, he's he's doing okay. And then early in the movie, probably about 10 or 15 minutes in, he gets a call and his mom is in the hospital. So he has to go and he goes and he tells his wife, he's like, "Well, I got to go visit my mom because she's in the hospital." So he goes and sees the mom in the hospital, and whenever he gets to the hospital, the mom tells him that uh, his father burned the house down, or no, that wasn't that the father. Oh, what happened? Uh, that wasn't right. I'm sorry. The father, the mother, the mother. I think the mother had a heart attack. I'm sorry. I'm off a little bit. The mother had a heart attack, so he went down there to take care of her, and John, being the nice son that he is, decides to go down there, and he's like, "Well, they're not going to be around forever. I got to go take care of my folks because I'm a family guy or whatever." So John, played by Tom Selleck, goes down there and he goes to visit his father. And spoiler alert, he goes and he tries to find the father or whatever, and he ends up playing cards with somebody that he thinks is his father, but he hasn't seen him in a while, so he doesn't recognize him. And he was like, "You're not Harry Aldridge." And he was like, "No." So he ends up playing cards with this old man or whatever, and the wife of the old man comes in, and she was like, "Who the hell are you?" And he's like, "Oh my god!" And he rushes out or whatever, and the old guy's like, "Does this mean no cards?" So he goes and he tries to find Harry, which is his dad, and his dad is not doing good. He's got the early signs of senile dementia, and he's not doing good. He's putting his pants on backwards. Spoiler alert. He's just not doing good. He can't drive a car anymore. There's a scene with them driving a car that goes horribly haywire. His dad is just a mess. He doesn't know how to do anything anymore. He can't care for himself, and he puts basically everyone around him in jeopardy because he's just real dangerous. You never know. You never know what John never knows what his dad, played by Don Amici, who is pretty funny in the movie, actually, admittingly, is actually Don Amici is really funny in this movie. He just kind of plays the dad, and the dad never. He's just like, really, what's going on? And he's just real clueless through a lot of the movie because uh, he doesn't know what's going on. There's a deeper part to the movie, though. Like I said, there's more heart to this movie than there was Weekend at Bernie's. Weekend at Bernie's was a good movie, but it was more of a darker comedy. Folks has some darker moments with some of the things whenever the stuff with them trying to, toward the end of the movie, get rid of the parents for reasons that I won't tell you about. You're gonna have to watch the movie to find out what happens. But I don't want to give everything away, but there's more heart in this movie than you think, and there's a part in it that I really like, that's kind of touching to me. Every time I watch it, I'm like, oh, that's kind of a nice scene, but it's making me. I don't know why. Why is this making me like that part? For some reason, I was getting ready to say the line, and I kind of got teared up a little bit. The line that he says is, "I don't need a fancy house. I don't need a fancy car. I need a family." And he said, "We all take care of each other." So sorry. I don't know why I'm crying. Why am I crying? I hate that. That's I don't know that for some reason I I was getting ready to say that scene and I got real choked up all of a sudden whenever I see it. But it's kind of a touching movie. I'll say some of the slapstick though doesn't exactly pay off. There's a little too much in points of the movie, like basically with his dad. They had mishaps in the hospital. They slam car doors. I think on Tom Selleck, and at one point where their car gets in an accident, they slam the hood and it falls down on his foot, and he's basically like a beat up, rag doll by the end of the movie. He gets like a cast on his leg, and he has something happen to one of his hands, he's just kind of beat up by the end of the movie, just because of all the stuff with his dad. His dad's really kind of dangerous, and he's afraid to keep him. He's afraid to have his dad around his kids because he doesn't really know, how he takes the kids out, and he's afraid if he takes the kids out that he's gonna not watch them and something's gonna happen to him. And John's always on his guard. He's always like, "Oh crap, I can't let my dad do anything because I don't know what the hell's gonna happen if I leave him on his own." Um, and there's a lot of, and like I said, some of the slapstick doesn't always pay off. There are some funny scenes, but it gets a little overkill on certain points. The scenes where they're trying to kind of where he's trying to get rid of the parents and make it look like an accident. Um, there's some funny stuff with that. Um, the writing's pretty well. It's pretty good on it. A little predictable at times. Ted Kotcheff does a fair job at directing. I didn't care for John's sister though, Christine Abersole. She was such a bitch in the movie, and her scenes, I don't know, they just didn't pay off. Plus, she's got these little teenage little shits for sons that just irritate the living crap out of me. And I don't like any of the scenes with them. They call him basically the asshole from. They say, "Remember my brother?" And they say, "Oh, the asshole from Chicago." And I'm like, yeah, I didn't care for like the scenes with them very much. I think they tried to go like she tries dating all these guys, and she doesn't want them to know. She doesn't want to know. She doesn't want any of the guys she's dating to know she has kids. Like they're not going to figure out again eventually. And it's just like I didn't care for some of her scenes. The scenes with the mom were good. The mom was a good actress. The Don Amici was funny. The scenes with John and his father were pretty funny. The wife's not bad. The scenes with them were pretty good. There a little bit of silliness, kind of a little bit of silliness with like with him coming, the dad coming to work, and it was kind of silly on certain parts. Uh, the boss or his boss ends up kind of double crossing him, and like I said, they kind of bust the firm that he's working at one point in the movie. Spoiler alert. And it just kind of everything just gets worse for John. I'll just say that John has horrible luck in this movie, and it ends on a good note. I'm not going to tell you how it ends, but it ends on a good note. Um, like I said, some of the scenes are silly. There's a scene in a shoe store that's I think tries to go a little far for humor, and it doesn't pay off. Some of the scenes just don't pay off, but it's okay because there are funny scenes throughout it that, like, if one doesn't pay off, there'll be another funny one that comes up, and it'll be kind of funny, and it'll be like, oh, okay. Um, but John's always having to stay on his guard, always having to take care of his father and the mother, and he is a good son. He tries to take care of them the best he can. There's just all this drama going on with the family and with with the dad. And like I said, he's scared for the safety for his kids because he never really knows how his father is going to react. Whether he's going to not. And when he watches him, he's afraid he's not going to he's going to lose track, and the kids are going to wander off, and he doesn't really know. He doesn't really know. He's kind of afraid. He's kind of afraid to. Uh, he wants to have his father in his life, and he's trying to deal with all this, but he doesn't really know kind of how to fit him into his life. I guess he's afraid that it's he wants to take care of him, but he's also kind of afraid that it's threatening his family life. So, and it does kind of affect his family life with his son and daughter, and also with his wife, who gets pretty fed up throughout the movie. At one point, she gets to the point where she's about ready to just take off and leave him. And he said, "Are you leaving, or just going?" And she says, "I'm just going. I've got to get away from this crap." So the wife is funny. I think the wife's what is her name? I can't think of the wife's name. I think Ann Jackson is the mom. No, it's not Ann Jackson. Um, Wendy Crewson is the wife, not the mom. Ann Jackson plays his mom, and his mom's pretty funny. She has some funny lines and stuff like that. And there's a scene where they're driving or whatever, and he's trying to make it all the way back from Florida to Chicago or whatever, and he's like, "That was," the mom says, "That was scary on the," or that, or yeah, it was the mom that said it. His mom, Tom Selleck's mom. She was like, "That was scary on the freeway," and Tom Selleck was like, "We had plenty of time to go around that truck. You didn't have to scream," or something like that. So, and they get out, and there's just like he's trying to push it all the way back to Chicago without stopping or whatever. And when they get out of the car, there's just food wrappers and all this crap. So he's driving all the way through, and so they were trying to get hopped up on He was hopped up on caffeine and just food all the way, trying to get him all the way back to Chicago. So it was kind of funny. Some character developments, like I said, with the sister, I didn't care for her. She was really one of the only main characters that I didn't care for that much. Like I said, everybody else was pretty funny. The wife was good. His mom was pretty funny. I love Don Amici in it. I like him in a lot of movies. I think he's fun in a lot of his roles and stuff that he's done throughout the years. Sadly, no longer with us, but he was a good actor. Tom Selleck's pretty good. Some of his scenes are kind of silly, like I said. They don't all pay off. They don't all pay off. They don't always, work out on some of the scenes. Some are funnier than others, and kind of stuff like that. So that's pretty much kind of what I thought of it. And it's got a good message about family. I think that's why I like it, because he's trying to do what's right for his family. He's trying to watch out for his dad. He doesn't want anything to happen to his dad or his kids or anybody. And he's just so put upon that he tries to make everybody happy, and he tries to be a good son. And I think that's why I liked it, because I had a good positive kind of message about family and stuff like that. So stay tuned. I'll be right back, and I'll give you my final verdict on Folks from 1992. Hey guys, I'm back, and I'm going to give you my final verdict on the film Folks from 1992, starring Tom Selleck, Don Amici, and Ann Jackson. So, final verdict of Folks: one-time watch, multiple views, or rough sledding. Okay. I believe, in my personal opinion, on my final verdict, Folks is at least worth a one-time watch. It's one of those ones that's, like I said, it's not a great movie, but it's got some funny parts in it. It's got a good story, and it's got a good message about family. So give it a one-time watch. It might become, you might really like it. You might want to give it multiple views, and really, you might really enjoy it. It wasn't rough sledding. I think it was worth at least checking out for once. It wasn't a bad movie. It just wasn't. It wasn't a great movie. there have been, better movies about family and stuff like that, and some of the slapstick was kind of silly, but it's worth checking out for at least the performances from Don Amici, who's really funny as the dad, who as Tom Selleck's father, and there are some good scenes, kind of bonding scenes with him and the dad, with him dealing with his dementia and kind of coming to terms with it and stuff like that. So overall, one time watch, and then if you guys like it, you can kind of go from there. You might really like it and want to give it multiple views. I ended up buying it because it's a funny movie. Um, it's a funny movie. It's got some good scenes. It's it's pretty good, pretty good comedy, and I enjoy it. It's not one of those ones that I watch all the time, but I do pop it in from time to time, and it is a pretty enjoyable movie. So that's my final verdict from folks from 1992. Check it out. It's from 20th Century Fox. It's rated PG-13 for strong language in certain scenes, kind of comic, kind of violence, and sexual, a little bit of sexual themes. Not a ton, but there's a little bit of sexuality in it. With him and with Tom Selleck and the wife, there's a little bit of stuff with that. Mostly language. There's a little bit of language and kind of darker themes on certain points of the movie. Not a lot. There's a little bit though. It's more language, probably more than anything else though. So um, I think I said everything I was going to say about it. So yeah, it's from the like I said, from the writer and directors of Weekend at Bernie's. Not as funny as Weekend at Bernie's, like I said, but I do think that you guys will enjoy it, and and it's a fun movie, and I think you'll enjoy watching it. So uh, that's pretty much all I got to say. That's my final verdict on folks. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Stay tuned. Ghostbusters is coming up soon. I just figured I'd get the folks one out of the way because I've been talking about certain episodes that I hadn't done, and I've been touting certain ones like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do that one, and then I don't. Plus, I've had insomnia, so I was like, well, I might as well do some episodes if I'm not going to sleep because I can't seem to want to. I don't know. I just haven't been getting to bed. I've kind of been getting to bed at weird times the past couple nights. So we hope you guys are doing good. This is Matt Allgood, Allgood Reviews. Today's review has been from the movie folks. More episodes coming up soon. Also, stay tuned. The Kiefer Twofer is coming up around the bend. It'll probably be after Ghostbusters, but I haven't forgot about that one. That one is coming up pretty soon. So I lied. I said I was only going to do Ghostbusters, but I ended up doing the folks review. So the Ghostbusters one will be the last one. So stay tuned. More All Good Reviews season 4 coming up soon, guys. Thank you so much for watching.